friends. I thought that I'd do a how-to video for YouTube about cutting down on placed voices and sounds that I've been experiencing, and a couple of things came to my attention today that I thought I'd share with everyone. They didn't occur to me at first. For example, because kind of flustered. Sorry. So I try to be Wi-Fi savvy, and I try to minimize the amount of radio transmitter exposure that I'm experiencing just in my day-to-day life, and maybe you are too. So the two things that I have with me pretty much at all times when I'm out in public would be a cell phone in case of emergencies, and my car key. And it never really occurred to me that these two items, the last two items on me that I carry around regularly, would have any bearing on placed voices and sounds. But I've noticed that disabling them has had a marked difference, noticeable difference today. I tried it today for the first time and it worked really well, so I'm uploading this video today to let you know how easy it is to do. The reason there's tape there is because the brand of key, or the brand of cell phone, or the brand of screwdriver I use that has nothing to do with this video. I'm not trying to point an accusing finger at anyone as far as brand names or manufacturers, just to make that clear. So I'm not trying to implicate anyone or get involved in any kind of legal entanglements. So that's why I've taped over the identifying characteristics. Also, I'm kind of interested in ad busters and the concept that we're surrounded by advertising, and just wanted to make it clear that this isn't an ad for anyone or something like that. But I guess the key first. When I'm using the key on my vehicle, it's 2007, so I assume that around 2007 or newer, they're going to have these keyless entries. And I thought of it as a remote, like for your television set to change the channels. But actually what I didn't realize is that this is a little radio transmitter in it, and it complies with FCC rules Part 15 and with RSS 210 of Industry Canada. It's actually a little radio transmitter. So the warning I wanted to say about this, though, is disabling this just means that you won't have remote keyless entry, unless you reassemble it. It won't affect the operation of your vehicle. The next logical step might be to go into the fuse box and disable the fuse of the radio transmitter in your vehicle, and I would recommend that you do not do that, because that's a lot more technical and a lot more complicated. You really need an electric wiring schematic of how your vehicle is wired, and that's not included in your owner's manual. So even though it might be itemized 30 or 40 fuses and what they power, it's really a lot more complicated than that, and pulling out the wrong fuse might disable your vehicle entirely, even though it's not listed. So you might think you're pulling the fuse for the transmitter, but actually it's because of the way it's wired. A lot of other things are involved, so really I would take that to a professional. I'm planning to do that, but just for the purpose of this video, the simple fix that I found worked really well was just simply the key, and also the cell phone. When I carry the cell phone around, I don't have it on, but what I noticed 2 or 3 times when I'm out is that it comes on automatically for different reasons that I'm not sure what are. So even just, and it's strange too, because I have the lock setting so that it doesn't, you have to, you know, power it up with the power on button, and then it has, I have the feature where it has the locked on, so you really have to push a couple of buttons at the same time to get it to function. But somehow, for some reason, it can be overridden for different reasons. I've noticed. So it's not enough to it's not enough just to have it off, I found. And by disabling it, both these two things, I found that my shopping today, buying groceries, was so much more enjoyable, and the ride in the vehicle so much more enjoyable. So I really had to share that with you on YouTube. So to show you how easy this is, the key, it's a standard keyless remote key, and to take it apart, there's a little slot on the side. I'll just hold that up, try and get that in. It's right in there, and you'll notice that it's down by the shaft of the key, and I'm using 3/16 of an inch flathead screwdriver, and you just put it in this little notch, and then you pop it open, and there you have your I'll try to get that in properly, and so the battery, oh, I didn't have it all, I took it apart and I didn't put it back together again 100% for the demonstration, to make the demonstration easier. So the battery is in here, and here's the little radio transmitter receiver, essentially, and just taking the battery out helped a lot. But if you know about these types of pieces of equipment, even just the components have characteristics that you might not want to be carrying around with you. I don't know if you would want to or not. I know that I don't. So there's stuff in here that's, you know, pretty well in there. But you don't really have to have that piece to have the key, just to, you know, get into your vehicle the old school way. So what I'm doing is taking that off. You have to be careful with the battery, because you might want to put it together for some reason and have it, like if you resell the vehicle or something, you might want to have it so it's still working. So I put the battery in a napkin, and then wrap it in tin foil, and then put it in a plastic bag. So you've still got your battery, and I would do the same thing with the cap of the key. And then also the bottom piece, it just easily comes out like that. It's not a big deal. So it's funny that it says panic. Yeah, exactly. It's what I don't want to be doing. So it really cuts down on the cacophony and the symphonic nature of the randomness of the voices and placement of voices, etc. So then, you know, when you have all that in its napkins and foiled up and then bagged, and then basically what you're left with is just the regular key, and you get into your vehicle and out of your vehicle, and, you know, no fuss, no muss, as they say. And so also I did the same thing, and with the cell phone, I'm sure you know how to change your cell phone battery possibly more easily. And this, of course, also is is a radio device. So, you know, I just take the battery out again, put it in a napkin, wrap it in foil, put it in a bag, and then if I need the phone in an emergency, and I do the same with the phone, if I need the phone in an emergency, then, you know, I have the components. It's very easy to put the battery back in the phone and everything, but by themselves the batteries I don't think are a problem. If they're not foiled, I just do it anyway. But the other stuff, you know, even this, like the guts of the key, having the phone even without the battery in it, I think is it has stuff in it that has characteristics that I don't want to be carrying around with me. Similar to the RF, the radio frequency ID card, the RFID card that we all carry around for banking purposes. I do the same thing. I wrap it in a napkin and then wrap it in tin foil and then keep it in a bag, and then you know, so when I need it, it's there, but the rest of the time it's shielded. This is all about shielding, and so I guess that's, you know, I didn't want this to go on for half an hour, so I guess that, I hope that helped. And as I say, I really noticed a strong difference in taking these steps, and I hope you do too. Okay, bye for now.